Hello chess lovers, Soren here, and in this video I want to share with you a very beautiful attacking game played by Italian chess international master Nathan Birnboim. His opponent is Soviet-born American chess grandmaster Roman Dzindzichashvili, who at the time of this game was representing Israel, and this game was played in 1977 in Netanya. Netanya is a Mediterranean resort city in central Israel. With this being said, now we can go through the game. Birnboim opened up with d4, to which Dzindzichashvili answered with knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6. The hypermodern King's Indian defense is on the board. Knight f3, black castled kingside, bishop e2, bishop g4. In here, black has a wide range of options. e5, knight bd7, knight a6 are among popular alternatives, but in the game we see bishop g4, bishop e3, and knight fd7. Black is opening up the dark square, the bishop's diagonal, is preparing e5, and also later when putting this knight on c5, this kingside knight can support it. For example, the main line goes like this: if rook c1 then e5, and if d5 then a5, followed by knight a6, knight c5. But instead, in our game, after knight fd7, we see an interesting continuation by white, knight g1. So white is offering the exchange of light squared bishops and is managing to open up the f-pawn's path. Seems like that this type of a continuation is a good idea and can create problems for black. Knight c6. Seems like that after this move white is gaining advantage. Better was playing c takes d4 and then knight f6. We have a Sicilian formation, dragon formation, and Morozzi bind is on the board from white side. But in the game we see knight c6. The problem with this move is that after d5, knight a5, black knight is finding itself on the rim. a6, black wants to go for b5, relying on this pin. That's why white unpinned the knight and played rook b1 already. b5 can cost black a pawn. Knight f6, queen d3, knight g4, bishop g5, knight e5, queen h3. So white is starting to transfer his heavy artillery on the king side in order to organize an attack. f4, knight d7, queen h4. With this move, white is freeing the h3 square for the rook, but playing e5 and then f5 is something which is worth taking into consideration. This looks very aggressive and gives white great attacking chances. Instead we see queen h4, b5. In return, black is looking for a counterplay on the queen side, but white didn't even pay attention what's going on and played e5. f6, bishop h6, f5, rook f3. So with f5, black tries to keep the king side blocked. b4. Black is first attacking white knight and then wants to win the pawn on e5. But in here white delivered a surprising move. Can you find white's next move? Ready? Instead of touching this knight, Birnboim made rook h3 move. The idea is that now if you accept the knight sacrifice, then bishop takes g7 can follow, and black king is in danger. If h5, then rook g3 can be very unpleasant. That's why with knight f8, black strengthened the pawn on h7, and an exchange of bishops on g7 followed. Queen h6 check, king g8, and another marvelous move by white. Can you find that move? Ready? This time we see knight e4. A fantastic square for white knight, right? Yeah, white is switching the knight into the attack from the central e4 square, which was controlled by black pawn. Knight g5 is now a threat. Black accepted the knight sacrifice and we see e6. First, white is cementing black's position with e6, not allowing any defensive moves like e6, and then switching the pieces into the defense from the 6th rank. knight c6. This is crazy, right, guys? Both players are putting their knights on squares which are controlled by enemy pawns, but white didn't even pay attention to this knight and proceeded with the attack. The interesting thing is that already at this point the engine shows forced mate in 9. f5 is on the board. In case of g takes f5, rook f1 can follow, and then rook takes f5, rook f7. Now, right now, of course, rook f8 is the threat, and if knight g6, then rook f7 is winning. In the game after f5 we see knight e5 and f takes g6. Now if knight takes g6, then again rook f1, rook f7 is winning. Black played knight g4 and g takes h7, king h8, and after white's next move black resigned. Can you find that move? The move is queen g7 check, a brilliant way of ending up this game. A queen sacrifice puts an end to this wonderful attacking game. Black instantly resigned because a checkmate is just a matter of moves. Here is one of the possible lines how white can announce a checkmate. That's why after queen g7 check we have a resignation. So this is it, dear chess lovers. Hope that you enjoyed this beautiful attacking game. Feel free to share it with your friends as well. And in the end, let's also solve a chess puzzle where the task is to win with the white pieces. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in my next video.